Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Will-O-Wisp Woods, and welcome to the journey of Grandiasha. As you can see, we are missing our wonderful dwarf. James is currently sick, so we're not going to worry about him getting on today. Few announcements before we get started. Firstly, a lot of the emotes are now off pending. So, for those of you on Tier 1, y'all have emotes now based off of NPCs that I have created for my worlds, as well as those that you would all know from TikTok. Our lovely Crandor, Esau's, and Mongrel have their own sets of emotes now. There are a few animated emotes as well that have gotten off pending. Some of you have already seen them. General. Speaking of, thank you, General, for the Prime sub for 3 months going on. Secondly, as you can probably see over there on the other side of Nyla's screen, on the live chat box, you can now see information for the stream as well as Discord. We've got a few stream information boxes on that side for you to go to and look at if you need. We also what was I gonna say? Goldfish brain.
That's Miles back.
Uh, what was I doing? There is a new thing for the stream that I've added, as you can probably see over there on the information board that I'm going to start calling it the quest board. The quest board has something called Help and Hurt on it. For 500 bits, you can give any of the players or the DM advantage or disadvantage on the next roll that they make. Mm-hmm.
We
So, you can help the players and hurt the DM, or hurt the players and help the DM. It's completely up to you. You don't have to, you don't need to. We don't ask or beg that you do, but if you want to, it is now an option. On top of that, I keep blinking. I go to say something and then my brain's just like white noise. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say something. I genuinely was. Oh, okay. I realize that after a while, because I didn't really mess with anything in the affiliate section of Twitch. The ads, I noticed, have gotten a little out of hand. So, I changed it to where every hour there's only like a 30-second ad. And even then, it's once per hour. It's not going to change anything. That's the farthest I could get it, if I'm not mistaken. And that was best way I could do it, because I don't think I can turn them off. Is the issue as a streamer on Twitch. I don't know where the button is to turn them off, if it is there, because I was looking through it. However, now they're aren't those minute and a half, almost 2 minute ads every 30 minutes. Ah. So, thank you all for joining us and dealing with that for so long. I apologize. But we've changed it. We've changed it so there's less of an inconvenience. Yeah, I think that's it. Oh, after this game, we will have a 2 week break as Christmas is coming up, and I don't get back from my trip until the 4th, which is
Stay.
Wednesday of 2 weeks from now. So the first is 2 weeks from today. The 4th will be that Wednesday. So this Sunday I will be gone. 31st I will be gone.
Bless you. Bless you.
I'm waiting for the third one. Or this upcoming Sunday is Christmas. We will not be doing anything on Christmas. Um, that is a given. Time for family and time for kids, Christmas, presents, tearing things open. And then the 26th, I will be leaving. So we'll be gone that 2 weeks, basically. So, no stream that Sunday. No stream this upcoming Sunday for Christmas. And that should be it. I'm going to try and stream throughout the week, this week, if I can. Maybe get more God of War in. Maybe play with May or Nyla or Odiel on a couple of things throughout the week if they want to. Other than that, I'm going to be gone after this week. So, quick break. Which, I mean, the Will-O-Wisp Woods hasn't been streaming throughout the week for the last, 2 weeks now? Haha. I've been very busy. But all in good time. All in good grace. Yeah, I think that's all of the announcements for this week. I think that's everything. Unless y'all have something to add. Anything going on with y'all? No? Okay. When we get back, when I get back, it will be a little late, but the Will-O-Wisp Woods group, this group specifically, the DnD group. What happened to your head?
Change it up a little.
Okay. I don't know how to feel. That caught me so off guard and out of left field. My little brother just popped his head in, and he had a haircut. For preface, his hair was as long as mine for years. That was interesting. That's completely thrown me off. Oh, when we get back, everyone should have their stuff. And this group specifically is set up for a surprise or Secret Santa. So we will be doing the Secret Santa gift exchange either when we get back or if we can. I think when we get back would be a good time. So yeah, that's gonna be great. That's gonna be fun. We've got a we got that planned. So watch out for that when we get back. Other than that, I think that's everything. Finally. I think that's everything finally said and done. Yeah, okay. I suppose we should begin our session of the journey of Grandiasha.
So,
So, last week we left off on a few branching paths. Dwindle in the tavern, in his room, drinking, enjoying himself as he listens to conversations around him. May searching out information actively, going to people and asking them questions. Nyla reading as she enjoys doing so. And Odile is off, doing her own thing, searching for her own information, and meeting a few friends along the way. So,
collecting a book of names.
Going to speak to an old half-orc missing a leg.
No.
Or was it an orc?
No, it was Goliath.
Goliath. Okay, there we go.
Yep. And I wanted to go see him because I think I know he might be related to.
That's fair. I've slept since then, in all honesty. I've been very busy lately.
Okay.
Work is very interesting lately. But, nonetheless, a Goliath missing a leg. And then and only then has everyone truly found their way into the city. If I don't stop having these brain farts, I'm going to have problems. Crestia. The city of Crestia, if I'm not mistaken. So, city of Crestia. The group has finally found it, has finally made their way in, and doing their own thing. Some finding gold, some finding information. But, no matter what, the grand city of Crestia is to their decision to do and find and enjoy and experience. So, this session, we will start with a simple question. What do you all want to do? I know Odile is going to find the Goliath. Nyla and May, you had quite a lore drop last week. So, is there anything that you all would, or you two would like to do now that you have gathered this information?
I think I'm gonna try to actually sneak off this time and talk to a certain someone.
Okay.
Yep.
And
Oh. I'd like to find a clothing store.
a clothing store. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I should probably also find something on.
Okay.
It's time to go shopping. I've got a plan.
Let's go shopping. But this will be very interesting. So, May, I would like you to roll a perception or investigation. Nyla, feel free to roll a general stealth check as you are trying to kind of get out of the sight of crowds and people walking by.
Natural 20 plus 4.
Very
Nice.
nice.
17.
Okay. So, Nyla, you make your way off out of, I assume, out of the bookstore?
Yeah.
Okay. You make your way off out of the bookstore and to a nearby alley, which is not hard to find. You pass the corner, round another, get deeper into the alley, and after passing just a homeless drunk along the way, you finally find a space that's kind of off to the side. Most probably won't come back here, and those that would likely don't have anywhere else to be or go. But you seem to be by yourself for the moment. Nothing around, no one around, no prying ears or eyes.
I'm gonna look up and shout, Skia, I want to talk to you. I know you're out there. I know you can hear me.
And now I would like you to roll a D100.
52.
Okay, so what'd you get on the D100?
52.
52. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You shout this out, and you wait for a moment. Minute passes by. Another minute. You're all alone. Standing there, staring. Looking around for any kind of sign.
Yeah, where are you? What are you so afraid of? Show yourself.
Another moment passes. And another. No answer.
Come on, Skia.
You look around, and I need a perception check.
Nineteen.
19. That did not roll well. I think the metal dice is not the one to go with right now. And by roll well, I mean it literally didn't roll. It slapped the table and just kind of slid. But that wouldn't have mattered either way, so. You look around. The silence kind of eerie. And then, as you glance to the side, you notice a shadow being cast by one of the buildings. A nearby crate. And in between this very dark space, the corner where the crate and the building meet, something catches your eye. You notice two small, very bright white eyes just kind of staring at you. Quietly.
Walk over. Get a better look at it.
As you get a better look at it, you notice that it is nothing. It is a very deep, dark shadow, as if the shadow itself is just pure pitch black.
Yeah. I'm gonna reach out my hand and like touch it.
As you touch it, you visibly see it recoil as you reach out for it, and the two eyes still just stare at you. Just kind of, it's almost like a dog when it has something in its mouth it's not supposed to. You reach for it, and it literally just.
What are you doing?
It seems that you've got its attention at the least.
Where have you been? But why do you look this way?
You see the pure white eyes kind of tilt ever so slightly to the side. And then you notice the shadows then glide from that corner up the side of the wall. And it creates this almost humanoid form that's very tall. And it kind of hunches over as it looks down towards you. It's two bright white eyes still just staring. The familiar form of Skia against the
Where
wall.
have you been? I've been trying to talk to you for days.
It
What happened to you?
difficult. Too much energy wasted.
What do you mean?
In the forest. I led your comrades to you.
I notice. Why did you show yourself to them? Never done that before. Well, except for that other one time.
I am not invisible. Simply good at hiding. But if I had not, you likely would have perished.
Why do you care? After everything you've done, why me?
I cannot answer that question.
Is there anything you can answer?
Well, that depends. What do you want to know?
I want to know about the curse that the Sphinx told me about.
That I cannot speak.
I want to know why you've been doing all of this. Anything. So many questions.
I'm doing it simply because I can. And because I'm stuck here anyway.
Not much of an answer.
That is the answer I can give.
So why have you been hiding?
I
Don't
am
accept you anymore.
weak at the moment. I am connected to you, and having to go that distance to get your comrades was difficult. The small one especially would not listen.
What do you mean you're connected to me like that? I know you follow me everywhere, but I don't understand why.
Because for now I must.
That's all you can tell me.
That is all I can say without getting hurt.
How would you get hurt?
There are more answers that I cannot give.
We're not done talking, but that's all I got for now. Stop hiding. Stop running away from me.
I'm not exactly hiding from you. It is difficult to show myself to humans and humanoids in general, for obvious reasons.
So are you hiding from my comrades?
I am hiding from everyone. It's much easier and safer for both of us.
I hope for them as well. Stay away from them, okay?
Yeah, it would seem the other tall one was rather jumpy the first time, but,
Can you blame her?
well, you asked for me to talk, and
Yeah, I didn't know she would follow me. Probably should have guessed at this point.
seems your comrades, they respect you, I suppose. After all, one of them chooses to follow you around.
Yeah, I tried to stop it, but there's only so much I could do. Why were you in that fire that first night that we met?
I was not.
You weren't? Then who? She said that she saw your eyes. Who else could it have been?
That is an answer I'm not allowed to give.
Why aren't you allowed to give me these answers?
There are things much, much more powerful and dangerous than you or I. There are reasons for me being trapped here, for you being connected to me, and I to you. And there are reasons that I cannot speak of.
You know the reasons, you just can't tell me.
He kind of nods his head once. The large figure of the shadow kind of almost sinking into itself, but still standing tall, still looking down, very attentive.
I'll get away again soon to talk. Like I said, we're not through talking about this. I'm not convinced that you've given me all the answers you can. I should go find the others.
Understood.
She's gonna walk off.
And the shadowy figure shrinks back into that shadow in the corner before disappearing entirely. And you find yourself back in the library with your small stack of books untouched. Would you like to continue your research?
I think I want to go do some shopping too.
Okay. Well, while you, I assume, put your books back as to...
I
Alright.
think I'm gonna buy the one about the nobles
Okay.
so that I can do more research elsewhere.
That book is only about 6 silver pieces, as it does hold information of the noble households, but is not magical, so.
Yeah.
And while you go on your way to the shopping district and searching around for things that you're wanting, May, looking around and kind of traveling the paths to see if you can find a clothes store. You do quickly find one, the first one that you found, that seems to give more of nice clothing, as you all are still towards the entrance of Crestia. It is very much still the tourist district. It's basically the idea of anything expensive is going to be here, and you've kind of noticed that along the shops' faces and all of these stores and small cafes and libraries and or bookstores and other shops, a lot of them here are a lot nicer and a lot more well kept, as well as watching merchants and visitors come in and out of these shops. This first shop is nicer clothing, but it does look to be warm clothing. Vests and suits, these suits and vests and dresses and such made of different furred clothes, different types of clothes that are for this type of weather, meant to keep warm, meant to look nice as well. And just from outside, looking at the price plates that are set in at the base of each of these, you can see that each of these are somewhat expensive. Each suit or dress is about a gold piece to 3, just for the pre-made stuff. And it looks like inside there are even more clothes and such that may or may not be
more expensive, if not less.
Hmm. All right. I'm gonna decide to go into that one. Oh, and immediately go towards one of the people working there.
Okay. Well, you head in, and inside, you notice a... I need a D100 for this, because I didn't think about this. I don't know why I didn't. Gotta figure out which NPC it is. Ah! Very interesting. That one. You walk in, and you find, working around in the small clothing shop, you notice a small, almost lizard-looking creature. Only standing about 3.5 feet tall, at tallest. And in a very finely made suit, like vest suit. You've got the it's not a three-piece, it's the undershirt, a vest, a tie, and it is a color palette of white and gold. The tie itself is gold. The button-up shirt underneath is a gold, almost silk-looking clothing. The top hat itself matches the vest as a very nice white, snow white, with a gold band kind of around the base of it. A gold chain hangs from his side pocket up to his vest, one of the buttons. And a very nice handlebar mustache that ends in two very nice tips protrudes from his face, his snout, as you notice a golden scaled kobold standing upon a stool, measuring and tailoring what looks to be a suit that is a work in progress. As you step in and you make your way towards one of the workers, you notice that he kind of glances over, but then continues his work. However, the worker that you meet seems to be an elf, a male elf, kind of just trying to roll one of the suits to clean it off and then rehang it, grabbing the next suit, roll, kind of going over the entire suit. They stop when they notice that you're there before them and set the suit aside. Ah, yes, how can I help you?
Well, I was wondering, I need new, and she's gonna gesture towards, all of her bloodied clothes. Uh, the journey here was very long. Is there anything that would be good for, like, an interview almost?
Um, that, that's, that's not people blood, is it?
I don't think so.
Okay.
It shouldn't be.
Uh, he then seems to... You can visibly see him weighing his options on his face.
I'm joking.
Before then simply... Okay, I'll be right back. And he kind of quickly turns and scurries off. you can see him disappear into a back room, and there's a bit of noise, as it seems he is trying to do something quickly. But he comes back out, and he has a number of different items. You didn't specify as to whether or not you wanted a nice dress or some sort of suit or clothing, so he actually has brought out a number of options of multiple different things. He's got multiple options of dress pants. These dress pants also have different matching vests, button-ups. There are a few dresses that are of very good make. Each of them, however, looks as though they're more of a party dress kind of thing. One of them specifically, very much a party dress, but also an attention grabber, as it has a very nice, almost like a white fox mantle around the hem of it, but it's a very deep cut V, and it goes all the way down in a very tight fit form. One of the suits also has kind of the same make, as it is a white fox mantle around the shoulders, and it actually hangs down a little bit along the seams of the suit top itself. Underneath that is a white vest, but the rest of it is black. You've also got a purple suit. You have a plain just gray suit. There are a few just warm dresses. You can visibly see that they would be extremely warm, based off of the fabrics that they're using, since it's very much cold outside all of the time, most of the time. There are a few selections that you can choose from, and it seems that around the shop they have more. As the elf finishes laying them out onto a small table with wheels on each of the legs, he then, kind of on the opposite side of it from you, kind of motions towards the table, and the it's not a table. What are they called? They're not rollers. They're the small tables that have the wheels in the very bottom, but it's like it holds the mannequins. It's like it's kind of like what you would grab at Home Depot when you're grabbing like the big
Trolley?
a trolley. Is that what they're called?
Like,
I'm gonna go with trolley, but one of those trolleys, and he's got them laid out on mannequins. It looks quickly
gondola?
done.
Gondola is the word.
That would work. Whatever it is, he's got mannequins set up on them, and it looks hurried, but he has the options upon them for you to look at. As well as this, you have him standing before you, and he, on the opposite side of them, motions to each of the mannequins and says, "So, if you like, we have these to select from. If you have a certain style that you're looking for, we can also make new ones and put some stuff together for you. That's a special order. It might be a little more expensive, but it will take a few days, depending on what you're wanting. Could take longer, could take less. Anything specific catch your eye?" He seems very nervous.
Something simple but warm, but also expensive. Something that shows that I'm paying attention to what I'm wearing. Anything like that? These here are a little bit more gaudy for my taste.
I was waiting
Dress, please.
I was waiting for it. He kind of looks to be thinking for a moment, and then kind of slowly nods. Okay. Okay. Hmm.
Thinking about fashion.
We we have we have a few. Are you looking for a dress, a suit?
Dress, please.
Dress. Okay. He then motions for you to follow, and he leads you over to the section that has almost entirely not suits, dresses. And as he looks over them, he points to a few. One of them is a very nice, um, simple gray dress. The dress itself has two straps that come down to the dress, and it kind of just flows down to about mid-thigh level. Then kind of flows out. It's almost like a frill, and it kind of comes out that way. However, there's a there is a coat that goes with it, a nice gray coat with gold, kind of a goldish. It's not a lot. It's a little bit of gold trim that kind of creates little designs throughout the suit itself, or the jacket. And the jacket itself comes over, but it buttons here at the collarbone, and it's more like a mantle or a cape than a jacket. But there are sleeves that you can put your arms through. It seems to be made of a fur. It looks to be almost like a gray wolf, but the wolf hair itself has been trimmed down shorter as to not be very fur when you wear it. He then points to another. This one is more of a turquoise color. It is very much more warm. As you can see, it is almost like a turtleneck that has the very long sleeves, and the sleeves you can actually see thumb holes in the side, and it goes all the way down to about mid-calf, and it has a almost like a sweater trim around the bottom. The turtleneck itself is very thick. It seems to almost cover the entire neck area from the base of the neck all the way up. He then points to another, and it happens to be a red dress, and this one is the nicest of the three, but it also seems to be a bit more pricey looking, as the dress itself is cut across from shoulder all the way down to just under the opposite arm, and there's a sleeve on the shoulder side that goes down to wrist length. It goes all the way down, and it ends at the ankle, but it then comes up to about knee height on the opposite side. These cuts being opposite, so the long side for your shoulder is the long side for the leg.
Mhm.
So it looks nicer than the rest, as well as the small, very detailed embroideries that are sewn into the dress's design itself. There are multiple little flowers and sections like that along the sleeve that start right at the shoulder, and it goes all the way down. This golden thread of just flowers all the way down. Almost looks like a flower sleeve if you were to get a tattoo. And then up the side, the long side, it has just a flourish of designs. It's almost like a rose bush design that goes all the way across, but stops at the waist.
Okay. She's gonna pick up the first one and the second one. And I'm going to take these two.
Okay. He kind of looks over them. He pulls the tags off of the stands, and he leads you over to the register and the counter. Now, if you want, we can tailor them. We can tailor them. We can tailor them for you. It will take some time. However, we can get your measurements and have them done within an hour or two. That will add to the price. The price
No.
is already for both of them together 16 gold total.
All right. How much would it be for tailoring?
The tailoring would be an extra 2 gold for the both of them.
I'll get them tailored done. But while I'm here, she's gonna take off her backpack and shuffle through it before pulling out the small wolf fur pelt that she took.
The pure
She's
white
gonna,
one?
yeah, not the big one, one of the smaller ones.
Okay.
I don't remember.
The smaller ones were gray, and the
Yeah.
very large one is pure white.
Yeah, Dwindle has the white one.
Ah.
Yeah. She's gonna pull out one of the gray ones and be like, "What can I sell this for?" And then she's
What?
gonna pull off the tails too.
One of the tailor just kind of stares. Is that a wolf pelt?
You try to kill us. Good quality, and she's gonna smack it. Fill with blood on it. She's gonna like pet it. It's a bit of wash, but pretty good quality.
I see.
Made it myself.
He then just kind of. You visibly see him weigh his options once again. He just kind of. It would be about 3-4 gold for each of those, depending on how much material is actually with them. And he is just staring at these wolf pelts that are just still bloodied, have not been washed or taken care of yet. Just kind of in both awe and fear. Just kind of, huh.
Are we talking the tails too, or I think I only have one tail, I think.
Yeah, I have the other tail.
You want to take the tail too?
The tail, we could.
It's gonna hold it up and wag it.
He looks very uncomfortable and put off by this, and you can see him visibly recoil a bit as he like. We could give you another gold or 2 for that. Why?
All right. So what I think is for these two, 4 each, and 2 gold for the tail. What do you think?
Say 4 each and then 2 for the tail.
Yes.
Make a persuasion or intimidation check. It's up to you. I'll leave that one to you.
Yeah. It'll be a 14.
14 for what?
And they're both the same. Uh, Persuasion.
Okay. Okay. So you would have gotten different things for the different rolls, but since you're going for persuasion, he looks at it. He goes, "Okay, we can do that. Um, yeah. How many are you giving us? Is it just the one tail and the one pelt, or
Oh, take both and the tail. Yep, that works.
okay, okay." He then he looks at it, and you can see him try.
Froze. I think everyone froze. I think
Yeah, you can see him try to pick up the wolf tail, and then just immediately recoil when he touches it. And he just decides against it, and he goes, "Would you like us to deduct that from the total of your purchase, or would you like that in gold and then pay for your purchase separately?"
Oh, just deduct it, please. That's very kind of you. Thank you.
Of course.
Did you want me to toss this somewhere?
Just right there's fine. Yes.
Do you want this back?
Sure.
Daddy only wore 'em that one time.
Doesn't matter to me. Anywhere is fine.
That way he can put 'em up. He's just asking. He didn't know if you wanted them back or not, so he kept them up there. And I was like, well, since he's here, I'll ask him. Got one more thing to do on my list of things to do, and then I'll be ready to lay down.
But right there is fine. He then totals it up, and
Hey, Sid, are you off tomorrow?
not off till Thursday.
What days are you working this week?
Every day. No, it's every day but Friday.
I'm fixing to put clothes in here in the dryer,
Mm-hmm.
but the washing machine's open if you need it.
Mm-hmm.
If tomorrow, if I hadn't got these clothes out of the dryer, that black basket is Kyle's. All you just gotta do is stick them in there and put them in his room, and he'll take care of them.
Okay.
What's the matter?
Nothing.
Why are you laughing at me like that?
Not laughing at you.
Okay.
Love you too. But sorry, family. Where was I? Totaling. So with the total, that's 8 to 10 off. So that's, did I say 18 gold total for the two? Okay.
That's fine.
So that would mean you're only paying 8 gold.
All right, she's gonna drop them. She's just gonna drop them on the ground, and rummage through her backpack again, and pull out 8 coins and like hand them out to him. Hands a little bit bloody from holding the wolf, but
He reluctantly and slowly puts out his hand, palm up, and just kind of watches as they plop into his hand. You can watch as one drop bounces off the coin as it hits another coin and just pops him right in the cheek, and he just
that's good luck.
good luck indeed. Good luck indeed. Thank you. Thank you.
Of course, thank you. I'll be back in what, hour and a half, 2 hours? Does that sound okay?
Yes.
Sorry, one more thing.
Mm-hmm.
Did they say anything about us after we left just the other day?
No.
No. Okay. want you to look bad or embarrassed.
You're fine.
Huh?
You're fine. Love my parents.
No.
Where was I? Yes, that'll work. That will work.
Awesome. And she's just gonna walk out. She's gonna like whip her hair and just walk.
Forget your backpack.
He then kind of looks at his hand. As you leave, he just sets it on the counter and immediately disappears to the back room, and just you hear furious cleaning.
Oh, wait, no, they had to measure first, right?
They didn't seem to say anything about it.
Oh, sweet. Let's go.
Mm-hmm. And then, as you're coming out, you notice someone walking along. A certain someone going shopping.
Is that Liz? Nyla? Nyla! Oh my god, you wouldn't believe. These guys are awesome.
Yes?
Yeah.
What did you buy?
Clothing. Just gonna just smile. Clothing.
What kind of clothing?
One to keep you warm and wear. Those are the type I prefer.
I should probably go get something warmer too.
Oh, they'd be glad to help you. He was really nice actually.
Nyla's gonna walk in to the store that she just left.
I brought a friend.
You notice the kobold once again kind of glance over, and Nyla can feel him glance to her for just a moment, and then he returns to his work. And you notice that this time he is much farther along than he was before. He's actually much farther along than most would be at this time, as you had just seen him, and he was not that far along in the tailoring of what he was just doing. But the elf has stepped out as you all step in, or you two step in, and he just kind of pauses, stares directly at May for a split second, and just does that kind of awkward I don't want to be here smile, but smiles nonetheless.
I was just gonna glance over at May like,
This is the guy I was talking about. He's awesome.
do you have any just like simple cloaks? I just want another layer.
We have a few. Are you looking for a specific color, fur, pattern?
Something warm, simple, doesn't have to be fancy.
Okay.
In fact, preferably not fancy.
Preferably not fancy. Okay. Well, if you'll come with me, we have some very simple ones. He actually takes you over to a corner of the shop, actually very close to the kobold. And you see in this corner there are a number of cloaks of different designs, colors, makes. You do see different handmade designs in a few of them, and two of them he pulls out. He pulls out one. It's a very full. It's full body, but it is pure white fur, and the other seems to be made of gray wolf fur. It's very obvious that it's gray wolf fur. But it's thick. The fur itself has been trimmed back, cleaned up. Any patches have been filled, and anything like that is unnoticeable. But this one is cheaper than the white wolf fur. As you notice, the price tag on the white wolf fur is 12 gold by itself. And then the gray wolf mantle and cloak is only 2 gold. 3 gold.
I'll try on the Grey Wolf one. If it fits full length, I'll just take it.
The gray wolf is not full length as the white wolf fur, but the gray wolf goes down to about mid-calf anyway. The white wolf fur seems to go all the way down. It almost looks like a full cloak, and the gray wolf pelt is smaller. It doesn't have a hood. It does have the mantle, and it does click at the front with one large button, but the white fur goes all the way down, has 3 buttons down the front, and does have a hood. But the gray wolf is very much cheaper, as well as just as good looking. As
Yeah,
it.
she's just gonna buy the Grey Wolf one without really asking any questions.
Okay.
I'm assuming this is the fur that May just sold to him. Or is it?
No, you actually see that still on the counter. Dripping a little. Just dripping a little. Just a little. But he simply grabs it off of the hanger and holds it out to you. That will be a total of
2 gold, you said?
2 or 3, if I remember correctly.
I said 2 a minute ago.
Yeah, 2. Okay, yeah. Because it doesn't look like it's completely real. But
Okay. She's just gonna hand him the 2 gold and grab the cloak. Thank you. Out.
See you later.
he kind of awkwardly waves back to May. He seems almost happy. Not that she's waving.
I'm coming back. That's how she's gonna take it.
Yeah. But he waves, and you two are back to the path outside. Now,
Hey, May.
much warmer.
Yes. Why didn't you tell me the eyes were different?
I didn't really see a difference. Is there a difference?
Apparently. I just assumed it was the same. But apparently it wasn't.
I mean, shadows with white eyes, I don't really see a difference there. You think they're the same, right? Oh, question.
Yeah.
While you were searching for information, did you figure out where the farthest might be?
I don't know, did I?
There was no information on where they lived or where the family may be located. You just know that the families themselves have a lot of history about them, as it seems more of a safety issue to just give out addresses.
Understandable.
You
No,
do
I
know
didn't
that
find
they
any
live in
specific-
Crestia, though.
But they
Hmm.
live in-
I need to figure it out. I feel like they're the best
Need some
people
help?
to go to first, right?
They all seem to have something in common. But
Hmm. What do they have in common? Money, status. They live here.
remember what we learned about each other. Oh yeah, they do know about the jewelry and the minerals and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they probably are a good place to start.
I think so. That's why I went and got some clothing. Nothing better than trying to get a job there. It is the best way to get in. Right?
Wait, where are you getting a job?
If I can work for their family.
Oh.
I wonder what wonders they're hiding there. And you can rub your hands together like. Do you think you could get into their vault or something? Do they have a vault? I'm sure they have a vault.
If we can find it in the first place.
What do you think about getting a job and settling down?
No thanks.
Not for a long while. For like a couple days.
That's what you mean by settling down.
Yeah, what else would you do?
Most people who talk about settling down talk about it for at least a few more days.
A week?
More than a few days.
Too long.
It's more of a short vacation than settling down.
Well, to me, it's settling down. Alright. I'm going to go try to ask around to see if anyone knows where this family may be.
I'm gonna do a little more shopping.
Alright, have fun. Where do you want to meet? You want to meet back up at the tavern later?
Where is the tavern that you found? I never heard.
Uh, um,
We'll find each other. You always somehow manage to find me.
that's true. You're pretty findable.
That may be the first time I've ever been called that.
I hope so. If not, I think it's the tiefling's horn something. I wasn't paying much attention, honestly.
Tiefling was the tiefling there?
Yeah, yeah,
That explains a lot.
yeah. That's the problem.
Alright. Well, yeah. Have fun finding a job.
Thanks. Have fun shopping and losing money instead of making it with me. There.
So May
So-
is going to find information on the Farthens.
It's where they may be.
And Nyla is going to continue her shopping. Are you doing like general shopping of just gathering materials for the trip,
Yeah.
or okay? Well, while you two do that, Odio, you make your way to find a very difficulty-stricken Goliath. You make your way across the city. Oh, hello. I have dropped my pencil.
Yellow colors, caps.
You find your way across the city, every now and then stopping to ask for directions, I assume, as to not get lost. And finally, you find yourself in a residential section of the city. It is very cold this far north, and getting this much closer to the wastelands, it's a little easier to feel the chill throughout the air. Continuing forward, you find yourself now before a home. Unlike the others, this one is not side by side to another, or in a small, almost suburbia. This one is kind of in the middle of multiple sections, just kind of by itself, in its own little island in the middle of the paths, as if someone had set up home here and just didn't move when the city was being built. Now, most of the paths seem to be taken care of. Most of them well accounted for, seemingly done more than likely by the city itself, or at least the residents. However, in this small, almost island, it's a small hill that kind of crests up into a small home, a very old-looking home. It's not large, but it is pressed against the city wall itself. Around this home, you see along the hill snow. The snow is piled up on itself, and the path around the home seems to be somewhat taken care of, but it seems almost half-assed, basically. Seems like it's the last portion of the city that needed anything done to it, or maybe just the wind had pushed the snow off the hill onto the path. But it seems a lot of these paths around this area are kind of iffy on the care. This home in particular seems to have basically been forgotten about. But at the top of the hill, where the house sits quietly, you can see through the window a light, a flickering light of fire. Seems to be that someone inside is currently next to a fireplace, as the fireplace itself, the top of the mantle, can be seen through the window from this path where you stand. The door is shabby at best, but seems to keep the cold out. And there's snow piled up on the roof. Nonetheless, the front porch comes out and has two stalks at either corner that hold up the cover for this front porch. This old wooden front porch. There's a rocking chair sitting just to the right of the window. and before you, in the snow, you can see divots. You look more closely, and it's unkept stairs that have been snowed over. You do see, next to this space where the stairs would be, a box with a number. It seems to be the mailbox of this home. And next to it, 2 lines going through the snow and showing the ground underneath.
I am very curious on what those 2 lines are from. But okay. I walk over the snow because I think I'm still light enough. I don't know how dense the snow is up here. I walk over the snow and I go up to the door and I start knocking.
As you knock, you hear on the other side movement and shuffling, as well as a very old voice. Yes. Hold on, just a moment. And you hear a thud for a moment before you then, a few moments pass, and the door opens. The door opens to a Goliath standing there, very wrinkled, very old looking, but still no hair. And in front of you, they're looking to you, so it's their right leg. Their right leg is still there. They seem to use their left hand to hold what looks to be a log. And I don't mean that as a joke. I mean they're literally palming one end of a log that they have just kind of made into a walking cane.
That makes sense considering how big he is.
And as for big, you now notice that this door and the house, after getting now next to it, is larger than most houses. The Goliath before you, even hunched, stands about 7.5 to 8 feet tall. The very old man, the old Goliath before you, then kind of looks around for a moment, kind of confused. Then sees Rovan, then continues to look down and sees you. This door seems to be self-built. After getting up in front of it, you can see it's actually wider than you are and Rovan, as it is where most doors are probably only about 2.5 feet wide. This one's about 4, and it's about 9 feet tall. Everything seems to be hand-built. The Goliath then looks down to you. Yes, what can I do for you?
Stare at him. And I go, mentally thinking, he does look like him, but I'm not going to say anything about it. And then I speak to him. Is your name or do you go by Stone?
It is. Yes, that's what that's what I go by.
I'm here to help you.
Help me. What do you mean?
It's no issue. I
Oh.
see you have a problem with it. I want to help you.
Did that goblin send you?
Yeah, how'd you know? Ain't he the best?
He stares at you for a moment, then grumbles and shuts the door.
What? Are you and Jericho not friends? If that's the case, that's still fine. I can still help. I knock on the door again.
There's another grumble before more shuffling. And then the door opens again.
What?
Will you let me help you or no?
Do what you want.
What's the issue, sir? Why are you being so cold-hearted towards me? I've done nothing wrong.
He then shuffles forward a little, and you can see how he walks now as he sets the log in front of him, causing Rovan to step back a little bit. And then he kind of... you can see the physical build of the Goliath now as he then literally just lifts himself with the one arm and then safely sets his other foot forward, causing you to step back. And he kind of hobbles to the side and pulls the door shut, and then he sits in his little rocking chair there. And he just kind of looks over and looks out and everything, and
I don't like that goblin. But the snow is getting tiring. You can deal with it if you want.
Look on him. Look at snow. Look back. I bet it is getting tiring.
mm-hmm.
And that's okay. You don't have to like him. And that's fine. Honestly, I didn't really come for him either. So, do you have a shovel or anything by chance I can use?
He just kind of
I don't mind digging it out of a shack or anything.
He just kind of looks at you. Looks at the snow.
I don't have one for one your size. Hold on.
And he gets back up. As he gets up, and now that you're standing to the side that has the missing leg, you can see that it does look like a battle wound, as it looks like it's been cleaved. It's not at the hip or at the knee, it's literally it's a diagonal almost, from the top of his left thigh down at a diagonal to the right of his left thigh, the inner thigh. It's quite literally as if he was struck down
Okay, so basically he is missing a knee, though, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But he shuffles in, and he shuffles inside. Then he comes back, and he comes back out, and he sits back down and he pulls something from his little pouch to his side, and he holds it out to you, and it's a wooden spoon.
Spoon.
Sorry.
You're fine. The funniest part, however, is because of his massive size as a Goliath, even this old and hunched over, the wooden spoon actually makes for a pretty good shovel for someone your size.
Yeah, that makes sense. I take the spoon out of his hand. I look back at him and go, this will do. I'll wash it after later, too. Also, if you need to get back up for anything, just tell me. I'll go. I just start going. So tell me about you.
As Jericho said, it seems that he is not the easiest to get along with, as he doesn't make it any easier. And after you're going for a few minutes, he just kind of stands, huffs to himself, and then waddles back inside to the best of his ability.
Said I'd get you whatever you needed.
This time he does not come back out. He simply leaves for inside, leaving you to your work. However, if it makes you feel any better, Rovan is helping, quote unquote, as he is digging and just kind of he's throwing it from one pile overall to the
Throwing it
pile
onto your side.
behind him. Yeah.
Actually, I should probably try to get him to climb up onto the snow down.
Yeah. Rovan thinks he's helping.
He not helping. My poor boy.
No brain. No brain.
No thoughts.
Only good boy.
No thoughts, just good boy.
He's good
It's
boy.
good
He's
boy.
good boy. He's trying so hard. I'm not gonna say anything to him. I'm be like, that's
Good
my
boy.
boy.
Yeah.
It's my boy. Okay, so I'll like work on it for like about an hour, and then like about an hour later, I'm gonna put the spoon down, walk up to the porch, and sit next to the door where it's kind of warm, and just take a little break and just like peek in to see if I can see him. I'm not looking at any of his other things, just to see him. I should be able to. He's big.
He's just sitting in a chair that seems to be in front of the fire. Just staring at the fire from what you can see.
So, did you build this house?
You can see him lean forward a little bit, and over the shoulder of the chair, you can see his two very gray eyes. The age showing as the eyes are not blind. They're not. It's just they are a gray color of the iris. One of them does appear to be blind, as the pupil has grayed out entirely. It almost matches his skin now. But the other just kind of looks to you and just kind of huffs once again. Then he leans back in his chair, and you hear a pop from the old back as he leans back. And he does the old man groan before he simply returns to his silence of just staring at the fire. You can see above the mantle, however, on what looks almost like a trophy mount, it's two studs that come out and up. It also appears to be homemade, but it holds a massive great axe. One that's actually chipped and broken and aged and cracked. The old axe appears to be some sort of trophy, whether of an enemy or his old days, you're unsure, but he seems to favor it as it sits in its own personal space above the mantle. Next to him, you see the log, and he reaches over and leaning over a little bit more, you can see on the other side of the log is a small table that's just kind of next to his chair, and you see it has a wooden mug of something. What you can't really see from here, but he seems to be drinking something. Everything here, as you peer in, looks to be handmade. It looks as though it has had someone sit down and spend painstaking hours making everything in this house, as well as the house itself. And he just silently sits there. You see in the corner there is a chair that is dusty, old, and seems to be kind of rotting. Seems to be made of a very thick log, just like his. The bark still kind of on it, most of it peeling, but seems to have aged as well.
You don't get a lot of company anymore, do you?
No one for some time. Don't want it.
Why not? Do you just not like people? If you don't, that's fine. I understand. I don't like people. Still talk to them, though.
I talk enough when that Jericho comes around. Annoying little bastard. Shows up randomly, bringing alcohol and wanting to start conversation.
I think he's just trying to help. He knows how it can be alone. And he doesn't want you alone. So he's just trying to help in his own way. That's why you don't really want to talk to me, huh?
Carrying conversations. It's too much work. Too much energy for this old man.
That's understandable. Sage will do that. Like I said earlier, I didn't come here because he told me to. He actually gave me some other jobs to go to instead. But he said a name. And that's what got me to come over here. I stand up and I start patting myself off and get ready to go get the spoon.
All right.
I just leave him wondering, what name? What? What? I'm confused. I go back to shoveling. Doop, 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 doop. I'm guessing this is gonna take me at least like 3-4 hours, considering my size.
It's going to take you a minute. It's going to take you a minute. I'll give you that. It'll take a minute. But but
While shoveling, I pick up a snowball and I throw it in the air and just have Rowan catch it, go, ah. And dissolve in his little mouth.
you can certainly do that.
I have to have some fun while shoveling this massive, massive thing out. Oh dear.
So, I want everyone to roll a D100 for me.
$71.
I got 100. Like how
47.
And you said 27?
47.
47. Alrighty. Good. Very good. Because of our late start, it's already coming up on 9 o'clock. Interesting.
No.
It's already been 2.5 hours. Holy crap. Okay. Okay. So, Nyla, how much are you wanting to get rations and stuff like that wise? Like anything specific that you're wanting to get?
Yeah, basically just mostly stable food, but then also some apples.
Okay.
Apple crew.
Well, I will say that there are a number of general stores just around, as it is one of the easiest places to find. How many rations are you wanting to get?
Half dozen, maybe.
Half dozen? Okay. Well,
At least for now. Also, what I really want is like Hermione's purse type thing, but I have no idea what the chances are of finding something like that. An enchanted bag.
well, if you mean a bottomless bag, there is such thing. However, you don't find it. For those that don't know,
and for you all, it is indeed a thing to have a bag that is seemingly bottomless. It's called Bag of Holding. It is a magic item that can hold 500, I think it's square feet of material in total. And it's like its own little pocket dimension. So, it's very interesting. But, that's a magic item. So, you won't find it here, sadly. But, not at a conceivable price for you all, at least.
Settle for a non-magical way to carry illegal stuff.
Yeah, like your backpacks or something. Because a bag of holding is, if I remember correctly, like 10,000 gold? 1,000 gold? Somewhere. I know it's not cheap. I'm pretty sure it's
Job
10,000.
looking good yet?
I'm pretty sure it's 10,000 gold.
Yeah, because we're definitely gonna make that much in a couple of days.
Not if we break into their vault or anything.
But you you do find the food and the apples you were looking for. The apples are a little more expensive here, as it seems that they are not grown here.
Not the
They
climate
seem,
for them.
around here, the apples themselves are only about, by themselves, about 3 copper pieces rather than 1 that you would find anywhere else. How many are you wanting to get?
I think I'll get 6 rations and 6 apples.
Okay. You get 6 rations, 6 apples. If I'm not mistaken, a ration is a gold per ration, or 10 gold per ration. Pretty sure they're on your D&D Beyond sheet, right?
This says 1.5 gold. Ocean.
Nice. Okay. So 1 gold per ration for 6 rations, meaning 6 gold total for each of the rations, and at 3 copper per apple, that's 3 times 6 for 18. 2 silvers if you want 2 copper as change.
2 silvers for all the apples and what's 1 point?
We're just going to say it's a gold per ration.
Okay, sweet.
Because that's easier math-wise as well.
Sweet. So 6 gold, 2 silver, and 6 each.
Mm-hmm. Now, you've gotten that. That's going to take you a little bit to go from general store to look around general stores. And May, you said you were doing what?
I was asking around to see where the farthest may be
Okay.
around.
Can you roll an investigation check for me?
That's 12.
You said a 12?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, with a 12, it takes you a little bit, And asking around, you don't get an exact location. You just find out that their established home is not within the city. It seems to be just outside the city lines, or the city walls. And the Farthens specifically, let's see. There we go. Okay. The Farthens, being the family that they are, their home seems to be just outside of Crestia to the east. The home of Farthen is unknown to you for right now, but you do know that they do not live within the city, but just outside to the east. You're not sure how far, as finding information on them in general has proven difficult, to say the least. But you now have a heading. You have your heading.
Here we go!
So, but 2.5 hours, and I don't want to move y'all too far ahead. It is 9 o'clock. I think I'm gonna call it here. Got a little bit done without moving y'all too far ahead. You've gotten a little bit of your general buying and cleaning up stuff done. You've gotten a little more information. And when we come back, we can pick up right where we left off and continue the story that way. As I assume everybody's going to be, like, Nyla and May are going to be meeting up at the tavern, and Odile, you're going to be finishing up with the job and talking to the Goliath. So, May and Nyla will meet at the tavern, and then Odile will be finishing up with the Goliath, and Wendell's at the tavern. So, we will pick up there, and that will be a lot easier. Yeah. I think this was, even though this was a shorter session, I feel like y'all got a lot done in your own little side quests, technically. So, I hope that it was enjoyable. I know that we started a little later, but a little difficult missing a player, but I think we did all right.
Good.
So, with that, I think it is a good time to call it there, and we will pick up next episode of the Journey of Grandiasha when we have all of our players and we can move the story along. So, I hope, of course, all of the players enjoyed their time playing tonight. I hope that everybody watching enjoyed. We will be back 2 weeks from now after our little break we will be doing our Secret Santa, and I hope all of you enjoyed the Wisp's story for the night. Thank you for coming. Thank you for joining us in the woods. And remember, follow the fireflies. You never know what stories they may have for you. Hope you have a good evening.